Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Site. Today I have game 4 of the Masters. So starting off day 2, game 1, and we're playing against Adam Ortyl from the Mid-Atlantic. So we're fighting for the namesake at this point. And yeah, Adam and I played recently at the Nerdhammer GT. He was my last round there. So really great guy. He's playing a very similar list to what he had played there. And Adam won the best of the rest at DC Masters. So he is a good player. He had won, I believe, all three of his day one games. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us here today. So let's go ahead and pull up that list first, and then we will get into the game. So Adam has 3 troops of Thule, 3 regiments of River Guard, all with javelins, 2 hordes of Dambusters, a Kraken with the Tidebringer upgrade, which gives him Inspiring and Aura Thunder Charge +1 for deep ones. So that's going to be those Thule and obviously the Kraken himself. He has an Aqua Mage with the Wild Charge Aura as well as Barkskin 5. He has a Riverguard Sentinel with Pipes of Terror. And he has the Trident King with the Rally 2 for Dambusters. Then he does round out with 2 Riverguard Dambuster Sentinels, both with Pond Warden upgrades to bring him up to a 13-15, and I believe it gives him the Iron Resolve as well. So, a very good list, very strong, well balanced. 14 drops, 23 unit strength. And here is Adam. And here is our board. And we are playing Dominate, which I think is a decent scenario for me. Adam's list is, he has obviously some heavy hitters, he has some good shooting. But I have more unit strength, more units in general, so I think it's a good matchup for me for this scenario in general. So we roll off. I do get first turn. I believe Adam chose sides, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, this is the first game where I get win the roll off, so I get to go first. And yeah, so positioning here, or we have our impassables on opposite corners, flat or height 1 and flat, obstacle here and in the middle. The forests are across from each other, and the hills are on the left and the right. So Adam, in his deployment, has set up a Thule troop way out here on the left. He has a Thule troop behind the Kraken. He has his individual with Barkskin sitting behind the Kraken as well. He has all 3 of his regiments with the Vicious Aura character sitting here trying to use that forest. He has a horde of Dambusters with a Pond Warden, another Pond Warden, the King, and another horde of Dambusters, and then he has another troop of Thule out here. So yeah, with his deployment, it looks like Adam is very much going to play around the dominate circle and then try to jump in towards the very end of the game versus trying to fight out, fight in it throughout the game. So yeah, and then my deployment here on the far left, I had placed my Blade of Slashing Dreadfiend. I have a regiment of Scarecrows and a troop of Tormentors. I did throw my Mind Screeches out here on the left. They were one of my last drops. Big thing I saw was this Thule troop, a low nerve, low defense unit that is outside of inspiring range on turn 1. I'm not able to get clean shots, but I'm able to, shoot cover shots over there. So I'm going to try my luck with that. I then have a Butcher Flesh Ripper, another Thule. I did have to move up in a position where this Kraken could potentially charge this direction, so I'm just blocking that off, as it were, and I want to position these guys who are nimble in such a way that they can see something. They can't see anything sitting directly behind the forest here. I kind of have to walk slowly through that with this fort. I do have the Blood of the Old King unit here, the portal. Got a Horde and J Boots sitting here. Butcher Flesh Ripper running up with a triple stack, and this is Helm of the Drunken Ram over here. And I apologize, this is my Blade of Slashing. The other one is my Trickster's Wand. So, but he moved more than at the double, or he moved at the double here, so no hexing at this point. So our shooting was a great success. We did get that Thule troop off the board with a good shot, good waiver or good nerve roll. So first blood is struck, top of turn one, and that does open up this flank. I believe in all 4 games we have a Dread Fiend that's run down a flank and has kind of done whatever he wants. So getting in behind stuff, threatening the flanks, eventually threatening the rears. So yeah, so having a lot of drops and utilizing that lightning bolt to open up some doors that otherwise weren't there is definitely working for us. So this is bottom of 1 going into Adam's turn and his movement. So over here on the left, he just positions. He's going to get some shots off, I believe, with his regiment here. I think he was just in 12 inches there. Otherwise, I don't think he had shots with anything else this turn. He does this blue dice is going to be his barkskin, so he does barkskin that unit and gets him up to 3 barkskin tokens. Something I thought was interesting is the Thule troop that started back here turned to the center and then started walking that direction. I thought that Thule troop might try to limit my options with this Dread Fiend out here, but they're not even going to be looking towards him, so that definitely helps me out, I think. Yeah, and then in towards the center, he moves this horde to look towards the center. Leaves a little gap for his Pond Warden to see through a little something, and then he pushes up, staying behind the impassable over here on this side. So, shooting was uneventful. I think he got a wound, maybe 2 on the butcher, but nothing too crazy. So on to my turn 2, and I do move the Dread Fiend in such a way that he's going to be able to overlook all the units right in here. So this allows me to more freely push up without any direct issues or repercussions, because this Kraken can definitely take out like the regiment. It can do some nasty work for sure. So basically, if he can't, nothing can see the Dread Fiend to charge. If he charges here, obviously there's the troop behind Dread Fiend here, this troop here. If he charges here, then there's this troop. Yeah, depending on how many units charge, I can reach just towards the edge here with this troop jumping over, obviously, the Butcher, the Dread Fiend. So we're just covering all of our angles, allowing us to advance forward and, trying to take up more control of the board space at this point. There's no real reason for me to be charging into Ensnare in the front. Ideally, we want the Trident realms to charge us and then countercharge them accordingly. So the Mind Screeches just back up and get in a position where his Kraken cannot fit for a charge into either one of them. because believe it or not, this Kraken has like a threat range of like 18 inches because he has the Wild Charge aura from the character. So Wild Charge +1, and then I think he has Wild Charge D3 as well. So he has a long range potential for sure. But our positioning here, we're going to be shooting at this middle regiment with cover, um, avoiding the Barkskin token unit and avoiding the regen is the main key. So, and then on the right, just trying to position to be annoying with these characters. Center pushes up a little bit. I don't have anything that's gonna really threaten to countercharge if he charges this horde in the center. So I actually slow down there and I just stay out of the 14-inch charge threat. Uh, and then over on the right, again, I don't um, don't have enough to just fight head on, so I'm just playing a little bit more cautious here. Backed up, kept my horde to where their leader points touching the hill just in case. Um, and obviously the dread or the soul flares can see over the hill, so we have some threat still projecting over here. But yeah, I think we want to just take it slow and kind of delay on the right hand flank and allow for our position and shooting to improve on over on the left hand side. So that was our turn. We did a couple wounds, I think, to the regiment. Otherwise, not a whole lot to talk about. Adam's turn 2. He moves like so. So he's positioning to get shots into my only unit that's not stealthy here from all these guys. It's going to be no cover as well. Um, this is kind of what the portal's in the list for, is just take those shots, keep that inspiring uh, available to us, so that way the shots aren't as devastating. Um, yeah, and then he just repositions. He does turn around that Thule troop now this turn to look this direction, so limits where my Dreadfiend can actually live for future turns. He does push forward past the building slightly over here. Um, and yeah, he does push forward fairly aggressively over here. So he wants to make sure that he doesn't get stuck back there, I guess, is the big thing. So. Yeah, his shooting is pretty decent into the portal. I think he gets me up to 8 to 10 wounds, somewhere in there. Um, so that is, very good, very annoying. Also, his barkskin, he got 4 barkskin onto the Kraken this turn, which I'm not charging a Kraken in the front over there, so that's perfectly fine. So then my turn 3 and movement. And I took a really bad picture here, but maybe here you can see. So um, we both have used quite a bit of clock in the early games. The positioning early on here has been very important. This is after my movement for turn 3, but not yet after combats. You can see I'm already down to like a little bit over 30 minutes, but Adam's right there with 35 minutes, and he's the bottom of the turn. So um, we're roughly neck and neck, having used already over half of our time in the first 2 turns alone. So again, these games, I don't know. I find they happen quite frequently. Just positioning is so important early on because if you make one mistake and allow for something you weren't expecting, it can just turn the game upside down. So, got to make sure you're checking all your angles and doing everything necessary to stay in the game here. So, but yeah, left we just position to a better spot, just slowly but surely, getting in the position. Eventually, Adam's going to either have to back up, engage us, or allow us to engage him um, in favorable ways. So that's just what we're waiting for. So yeah, main thing here is staying out of front arc of the Kraken with the Dreadfiend, but put the Dreadfiend in such a way that it's a hindered charge if he comes in with the Thule. I'm okay with that. We still have Nimble. We can get around him if necessary. So if it's just the Thule charging, and the Thule's not going to do a whole lot when it's hindered. So um, but yeah, otherwise it's just slow improvements here, slow improvements there. We are in a position where now Wind Blast is actually going to come into play, I believe. Um, Not that it's really going to be have a huge effect, but we can just be annoying at the very least. So, and again, staying back in the center because this unit is able to just 1v2 both of these, I think, especially with the Pond Warden support. So I do not want to try to tempt that. So I am actually bringing a little bit of support, at least looking towards the center with support over here, and then on the right, he moved up close enough where I was able to do a double charge that I thought was favorable. So the Horde and the Dread Fiend into the Thule troop, um, and it, I'm in a good position here. I block off the jump overs into my soul flares here, and so I just felt like it was a good choice. Allows me to pick up a troop, and I feel like I'm not really losing much. And then I'm also kind of holding him at bay back here. So that was my thought. I still have some play with some charges and angles, so we'll see how it works out. Um, I did some more shooting here. It looks like he's up to 6 wounds or so. I did get a waiver. We did get the kill over here onto the Thule troop. Sidestep the Horde, and then the Dread Fiend looks directly towards the Horde. Nothing can fit in that gap right there. And then I had already measured this gap here is too small for his character. And then this gap here, there's nowhere his character can fit. So there was always a guarantee, staying where I was, sidestepping 1 to 2 inches where I stop here. I had blocked off all the charges, and then he's in the flank of this guy. So yeah, on to Adam's turn 3, and it's crunch time. Clock's ticking. I'm, slowly but surely getting into the center with a lot of unit strength. So he has to do something, and he's gonna, keep positioning to shoot. So he just adjusts some positioning out here. He kind of likes where he is. He's in range still to hit the portal. Over here, he just moves up. He's been shooting his wet or shots from the Trident King onto the Butcher Flesh Ripper for the past couple turns. So he's going to continue to do that. But now with the positioning of Scarecrows, I have cover and stealthy, so it's going to be very hard for him to, effectively remove him. But he could be getting some waivers here. His Pond Warden was in a position where he could just jump over and turn towards the center. So not something I anticipated, but at the same time, I've done what I wanted to over here, which is successfully block the unit strength at least. So granted, I'm using quite a bit of my own unit strength to block the 4 unit strength out here, um, but we've already killed 1 unit strength, I guess. We're still doing stuff. So his shooting does pick up the heavily damaged Portal of Despair this turn, and then it goes straight into my turn because there wasn't any combats or anything. So blurry picture for top of 4. But we engage over on the left. So our engagement is just a regiment into the Kraken just to block it up. I have a troop of Thule, or not Thule, troop of Tormentors and Blood of the Old King unit into his regiment here, which is fresh. Um, I believe I had hexed or no, he put the Barkskin back here because that was the heavily damaged unit. So, um, yeah. So this positioning here allowed me to not be hindered. The uh, troop is in the forest, but this portion was out. So on to the right, I realize or identify that charging one of these units is going to allow the other one to do stuff I don't want. So I don't charge. I just sit here. I reposition to threaten this Pawn Warden and to also threaten towards the center while I run forward. The Pawn Warden only has 14-inch charge threat, so he's not able to get in over here. So yeah, that's where I'm sitting over here. Uh, Again, just delay for now. We do kill the regiment. I had popped the Blood of the Old King. So my positioning, I backed up the troop into this spot, and then I repositioned. These guys are facing towards like this individual right here. So this is what it looks like for Adams at bottom of 4, and that is tough to tell. I think it says 19 minutes for him and only 10 minutes for me. Yeah, so we're running low on time, but I think it's about to get pretty quick here. So you'll see this positioning here, and Adam decides, well, we're going into that horde. Remove unit strength from the center. So he does that, triple charges. He positions this guy to look that way. He does do a withdraw and then charge the troop over here, and then he brings in the Thule into the regiment. I believe his individual charges my horde, which yeah, I don't know. I was a little surprised by that. I thought the soul flares would have been a better charge, but that horde's already in the middle, so not sure. Anyway, so yeah, this is what, and he double charges the horde over here. So he does kill the horde in the center, and he just maintains his positioning. And then I am skipping ahead here because, as we saw, time was not pleasant for me. So he bounced off the regiment. He bounces off the troop, doesn't even waver, um, which was a big thing. I think the reason he didn't charge this is actually it's not able to see. That's why. So when he bounces off both over here, you'll notice that it's very close, but this troop is in the flank of the Kraken. So what I decide to do is do a flank front over there, and then I countercharge and hit the flank with the guys. So we're picking up Krakens, we're picking up the last Thule troop. This unit just moved into the forest and looked towards overlooking the center, while also still being within the center, and also making sure that little bastard's in our flank so he doesn't block us up. And then we're just running forward. We're trying to get to the center because this is our turn 5, so we only have one more turn to get everything in if we possibly can. We do take the charge into his frogs here, and I reposition the troop to look at the rear. His pond warden that was flying around over on this side, my Dread Fiend from the far right over here was able to see him over the hill, so we charge the flank and we charge a front. And then we just maintain just the horde in this position over here. I don't even countercharge because I don't want to slide over. I just want to stay where I am, and I'm positioned to where the king does not have enough room here to get through, and the frogs do not have anywhere to land to charge over here. So on Adam's turn 5, he does kill my butcher. He does come back in over here. or forget if he even rolls it. There's several combats that I got a waiver here. That was nice. There's several combats that Adam uh, just chose not to roll because, like over here, killing that horde, sure, it's nice, but he's already written off those units not being able to get to the center, and he's identified that he needs all the time he can to get to where he needs to be. So he does some damage. What did he do? Gosh, that horde was still there. So yeah, he just repositions, getting making sure it's all front charges, making sure there's hinder charges, all of that stuff. So this is how it looks before my turn, and then I just crash into the middle here. So I double charge this regiment. My horde, he charged the Mind Screech behind over here, so my horde was free. So my horde went ahead and charged this regiment. It's a really blurry picture. I did charge the rear here, and my Dread Fiend maintained this charge over here. We're just staying put over there, not doing anything. Again, this looks like I'm staying alive, but I'm pretty sure Adam didn't roll it out last turn, and I'm not even countercharging. We just want to stay where we are. My Soul Flares do turn to look in towards the center. If there is a turn 7, they can get over then. So this is top of 6 here. But I get everything in except for this regiment, I believe, is just out potentially. But yeah, we'll do the count. It's close. It could be in, could be out. Adam's turn 6, and he finishes off the horde that was in the center of the table. And then I believe, where's his individual? I think that's it. Individual? Yeah, he charges there. But, after I killed his, his guys here, I sidestep both the units, and the sidestep was enough to get both the troop and the regiment into combat. I also killed the pond warden out here, so in the end here, because we did not have a turn 7. If we did, I believe I can clean up everything in the center here. In the end, I do get the win. He has 4 unit strength in the center, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yes, that 2 was out of the center. So I won the scenario 4 to 11. So I won by 7 unit strength, which I believe is a +3 on the scale. So 14-point win, +3 for scenario, and then I believe I got a +1, probably not a +2. So I think it was an 18-point win for game 4. Yeah, so the I feel like the battle report doesn't do this one justice because it was a very technical game. And as you can see with the clock timing, we both were spending a lot of time early in the game. Maybe a little bit too much, but in the end, don't have a great clock. I believe Adam has less than a minute left if there was turn 6, and I think I have a couple minutes left. So in the end, it was just very quick, decisive decisions. Roll the dice quickly. So we crammed half of the game into 10 minutes of clock time each. But no, it was a very enjoyable game, very good tactical game, and I think there wasn't any major mistakes on either side. I think the one mistake for Adam was actually deployment. That troop that was left uninspired. Him and I talked about it a little bit. I think that could have been positioned better. It was one of his early drops, and he said he had an idea, but then he kind of abandoned it. So It was going to be fine if he got first turn, but I was able to take that from him and capitalize on it. And then on the right hand side, he kind of had the same thought as me, which is, well, there's a lot of unit strength out here answering the unit strength that I have out here. So I think in the end, he's absolutely right that we almost traded, and I think I had a little bit more unit strength than him because he has 3, 4, 5 with the Pond Warden, 6 with the Troop of Thule that was out on that flank, and I had 7 unit strength, 8 with the Butcher because I had 3 with the Horde, 2 with these guys, the Troop of Tormentors, the Dread Fiend, and the Butcher. So I had 8 to his 6. So I think in general, a good plan or good strategy. He was taking 2 more unit strength away essentially, um, but in the end, the butcher did die. The troop eventually scored, so that helped out. If there was a 7, I would have gotten 3 more unit strength in as well. So yeah, just one turn behind, I think, for me if I really wanted to play for the scenario side of things. But I don't think I can turn and look this way and have this just collapse because then I'm losing units in the center. So the only reason I really turned and looked this way is because of the clock. I knew that Adam couldn't, bust through this or roll effectively to kill this and to be able to get charges and roll and kill stuff for the following turn. So um, I think if we had full time left, this regiment's just still looking forward, and we're just delaying the 4 unit strength that's out here at this point. So, um, but yeah, like I said, very enjoyable game, very tactical, and not a whole lot of surprises. Adam's shooting into the stealthy, into some of the units that have cover as well. It just doesn't do enough, and I think his list really relies on being able to pick up some smaller things before the engagements happen, and then relies on hinders and snare charges to bounce and him to be able to counter and pick those things up. Um, but I just have a few too many units for him to deal with, and I was able to remove the Kraken, remove a lot of his unit strength from this left hand side, and really collapse in that flank eventually. Um, so yeah, it was a well fought game. I not sure what more Adam could do or what he could do differently. Potentially having one of the frog units out on the left, but then that weakens his other side. So it's really tough to say exactly what the right play is. I do think that dominate in this particular matchup was just a really good scenario pull for me in the end. So that's you know kind of what I think sums it up is I started out with an advantage and then I didn't give anything away to Adam really throughout the game. So but really enjoyable to play Adam. Glad I've gotten to play him twice recently. So definitely looking forward to another match in the future. But that puts us overall at this point in the event at 3 wins and a draw. We are going to be on table 2 going into the 5th round, and we are 3rd overall in battle, I believe. Um, and we're gonna fight somebody that's a familiar face. So I'll make sure you guys watch the next one. I won't tell you about it here, but yeah, appreciate you all for watching, and we will see you in round 5.